struggling to find your way. Wish you could rewind it all and start it over. Feel like you're gonna drown, ready to throw in the towel. Stop while you're ahead, get it over. Just reach me, we can see it down below. But now you found it, just put all your trust in Jesus, 'cause He's away. Time to get down on your knees. You got to let go of your pain and give it over. Need to shout, let it out. Stop trying to figure it out. Just trust His word and give it over. Please reach me. You can see it down below. I'll see it down. Just put all your trust in Jesus, 'cause He's the way. Through the light. Turn it over. Make it right. Turn it over. 'Cause He's away. If I know you are not alone, He is there to carry you on. He is there to carry you on. He is strong when you are weak. He is strong when you weak. Just trust Him and He'll bring you peace. He's the way, truth, and life. Go ahead, turn it over. He'll make a way. He'll make a way. Go ahead, turn it Time to wake up.
Wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Up you wake, up you wake, up you wake, up you wake.
Time to wake up. Time to wake up.
Wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Up you wake, up you wake, up you wake, up you wake.
Time to wake up. Time to wake up.
Good morning, good morning. I think I am too loud. How y'all doing out there? Good morning. Welcome to the Wake Up Show. I'm Brother Isaac K. Fingers. All glory to the Father in the mighty name of Jesus, who is blessed forevermore. I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in on Facebook and on YouTube. Before we get started with today's lesson for the sisters, we're going to do some opening up, and then we're going to do a little bit. I'm going to do a little teaching before we get started with this lesson for the sisters. Let me get over here with y'all so people can see that I am here, and they're not just doing this from my apartment by themselves. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So,
yeah.
Yeah, don't let me turn into Chef Nzighetto. All right.
We don't want Chef Ghetto.
No, not yet, because I can't cook today, no way. So,
right.
All right. So before we get started, let's open up to Isaiah 28. Let's do the verses that I always open up with.
Can I say happy Sabbath?
Yeah, you can say happy Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath
You
day,
got to use the mics though, you know.
Happy Sabbath day, my sisters and brothers, if you're there.
Yeah, they watching.
Peace in Jesus' name, y'all. I love you.
They are watching.
Sabbath.
Okay, so I'm still need one of y'all to read. Who got it?
Where are we?
We're going to Isaiah 28. So we're going to open up with this, and then we're going to get into Titus 2 thoroughly. All right, for my brothers and sisters, especially for my brothers, we're going to get into Titus 2 thoroughly. All right, 28, and we're going to start at verse 9. Isaiah 28 and verse 9. When one of y'all get it, go ahead and read for me.
Whom shall he teach knowledge?
Mm-hmm.
And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast.
So who is the he? He is the Lord. Who is he teaching the knowledge to? He's teaching it to the nation of Israel, according to Exodus 19, when he said that we would be a nation of priests. All right, let's keep on reading.
For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little.
So precept must be on precept. So you can read this book from Genesis all the way to Revelation, but there's so many messages that the Lord has. That's why he wants you to put precept on precept. And the more you study, you start seeing the other messages. If you're Israel, if you're the priest of God, because he's only given us the knowledge and the oracles of God. Keep reading.
For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to his people.
So why does he have to speak to his people in another tongue, in another language? Because his priests messed up. They decided to do what they wanted to do. They knew this law and they started adding to it or taking stuff away. And so he said he was going to punish you and your children. So we got sent around the world as slaves, learned other people's languages. We could have learned other people's languages voluntarily and taught them the word. But he done forced us. So now he has to speak back to us in other people's languages. Let's go over to Isaiah 8. So now that we know that the Lord is teaching us, and he's taught us in other languages, and like I said, I learned in English. I didn't learn in Hebrew, and there's nothing wrong with Hebrew. If you learn it, fine, but don't turn around and start telling people you're not going to understand this at all because you don't know Hebrew. You may need to learn the Hebrew perspective, because we over here in the Western world done learned a lot of stuff, and we think that's right, but it's not. All right. And we might get into that a little bit later. But how are we supposed to teach as a people? Verse 8, Isaiah 8 and 20. I'm sorry, verse 20.
To the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them.
So we must teach from the law and the testimony. So we have to teach from Genesis to Malachi and Matthew to Revelation. The whole volume of the book. That's how we teach. So if you're not teaching from the law and the testimony, there's no light in you. So if you're just a New Testament Christian and you're not teaching from the law, no light in you. If you just teach it from the law, don't want to deal with the Gospels, there's no light in you. Plain simple. That's all it is. Let's go to the last place to show you we did this. Who did this? Revelation 14. And we're going to read verse 12. Revelation 14 and 12.
Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus.
So what do you have to do to become a saint? You have to keep the law, the commandments to God, and the testimony of Jesus, which is the faith of Jesus. In Revelation 12 and 17, for some reason, Satan is going after the people who keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. So that should give you a clue right there that if you want to make it into the Lord's kingdom, you have to keep the commandments of God that he gave us from the very beginning. People want to say, well, that's the law of Moses. Man, who you think gave Moses the law? Christ did. And then when he comes in the flesh, he tells us in Matthew 19, if you want to be eternal life, you have to keep the commandments of God. That's the faith of Christ. He's telling you that. All right. So now that we got that out the way, let's go to Titus 2. Oh, let's go to Titus 2, people. Yeah. So, Titus 2, we're going to read what these sisters are doing with these two lessons. All right. We're going to read what they are doing. All right. So once you get it, go ahead and read Titus 2. We're going to start at verse 1. All right. We're going to start at verse 1. Go ahead and read when you get it.
But speak thou the things which become sound doctrine.
So it got to be sound doctrine, right? So that's what these sisters going to be teaching too. Sound doctrine. Keep reading.
That the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity, and patience.
So the aged men have to be sober, grave, temperance, sound in faith, charity, and patience. That's me. That's the brothers. That's what we have to do if we want to be teachers. All right. With the whole volume of the book. But what do the sisters get to do? Let's go to verse 3.
The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness.
They don't need to be out there on the street, shaking their thing all over the place, right? Then trying to teach the word of God. Keep reading.
not false accusers.
So you can't be lying on folks. Girl, I done saw such and such and this, and it was a lie. Keep reading.
Not given to much wine.
Can't be drunk all the time either. This is what it's saying for the sisters, which is also for the brothers as well. But this is for the sisters. Keep on reading.
Teachers of good things.
Teachers of good things, not teachers of evil things. Girl, come on. We're going to put these clothes on, go over here to this club and get these. I was about to say the N word and get these brothers for their money by sleeping with them at the hotel. Come on, let's keep reading.
That they may teach the young women to be sober.
So they have to teach the younger women to be sober. And that's what I feel we're lacking. We are lacking that. We got a lot of brothers trying to teach sisters, but the book says that some older women need to teach the younger sisters. All right, keep on reading.
To love their husbands.
To do what?
To love their husbands.
Oh, but that's not what TV tells us. That's not what TV and music tells us. It tells us, man, please, you ain't my daddy. No, I'm your husband. I'm supposed to be above your father.
Yes.
Because we're supposed to be one. All right. So the women are teaching them how to love their husbands, not go at them because, you know, they didn't watch what? Housewives of Atlanta or something. And now they feel like they could just snap at any time. Teach them how to love their husbands. Keep going.
To love their children.
To love their children too. Not to be like, you know, I love my children and then, you know, I don't really deal with them at all. I feed them, I give them clothes and stuff, but hey, I'm out in these streets. You gotta love your children too. Go ahead.
To be discreet, chaste, keepers at home. Good.
Wait a minute, keepers at home, right?
At home.
Okay, brothers, we can help too with the keepers at home. But this is what the older women teach the younger sisters. Go ahead and read.
Obedient to their own husbands.
Obedient to their own husbands.
Obedient, y'all.
Oh, so this is what we're supposed to be getting taught within the female gender community, I guess you would say, to be obedient to your husbands. Because let me tell you, sisters, if you're obedient to your husbands, and if you have a good husband, all right, if you're obedient to your husbands, I'm telling you personally, as well, I'm not married anymore, but I would love my wife even more if she's showing me this. Now, if you run into a knucklehead that wants to take advantage of it, that's where dating comes in. You have to, you know, because we sat up and talked before, and I had told them that I still see sisters online saying, I'm only going to be obedient to my husband. We're dating. I have to be obedient to him. And I told them, I said, well, if you show a little bit of it while you're dating, he may see it. All right. But if you don't see any type of submission at all, just I'm this, I'm that, blah, blah, you ain't my daddy, you know, don't nobody want to be bothered with that at all. Where was we at? Love their husbands and the children.
That the word of God be not blasphemed.
So all of this is done that the word of God should not be blasphemed. And this is why the Lord had me ask these two sisters to come and do a lesson for the sisters. Brothers, if you want to watch, you go right ahead and watch. But the title alone is telling you what these things are about. It's called Sisters, Listen to This. And this is part 2. And so I'm going to let the sisters listen to these sisters. All right. So let me get out the way. I'm off camera, working the camera and the platform. So now everybody saw I'm here. Hello. Now I'm about to go over there and do this work over here and let these sisters work on these sisters. So let me get by, and then I got to get that chair out y'all way. So I just wanted to say all of that because I just don't want no flack calls again. Need people to watch and understand the whole message before I get phone calls. And those that did call me, no, I'm not, I'm not going against them or anything, trying to throw stones, but I'm just saying, a lot of times we got to look at the whole book before we read the cover. All right?
Amen, brother.
All right. So it's all yours. Y'all go right ahead. And so who we have today which let me put the title up. See, here's the title. See that title, brothers? All right, sisters. Sisters, listen to this. And then, like I said, my special guest today, Sister Drew Israel, Sister Patricia McBroom. So now I'm gonna let y'all have it. Go ahead. Remember the mics.
Man,
Gotta put the
praise
mics
God.
up. All right.
It is definitely a pleasure to be before you guys today. Praise God. Happy Sabbath day. We're waking up still. I know I am. But it is a pleasure indeed. And we got great feedback from you guys. So it is definitely indeed an honor
Bring the mic
to
up.
be before you again. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for the love. It is something that is needed in our community. What we are supposed to be doing anyways, brother, as I said, as the script says, we're supposed to teach the younger sisters. So right now I'm gonna put myself out there and say, hey sisters, if you need someone to talk to, which I think one has latched on to me already this week through IG. She never did tell me where she lived. I believe her name is Woodson. I'm so sorry, sis. I can't think of your first name. But I think she's like 21 or 23 years old. And she says she listened to us IOG in the Riverdale class. So praise God. Happy Sabbath day. Hopefully she's there now. But any sisters who need to speak or need to talk to one of us, reach out to us. Me and Trish, we're available. As I stated, and I want to say this again, I don't do Facebook Messenger. It is a distraction for me. I'm at work. I'm in dead zones. It may or may not come through, but even regardless of the fact, I'm working. If you want my attention, just go on my page and say, like, hey, sis, can we talk? If you have my number, feel free to page me or text me. I'm here for you, okay? But I don't do Messenger. So if you have sent me any messages, I'm not going to read them. All right, love y'all. We're gonna go ahead and get into this, Trish.
But I do want to add, is my mic on?
Yeah, you gotta put it up.
Oh, okay. I do want to add that I do have Messenger. So if you want to send me a message, that's fine. I'll try to get back to you. It's a lot of stuff that I have going on. But send me a message if you have any questions, if you just want to reach out. I'm fine with that. Or just go on my page and say, hey, check your inbox or things of that matter. But I can be available.
Awesome. Well, you can reach one of us like that. Okay, we have plenty of subjects, kind of touchy, but I'm gonna go ahead and let Trish open up, and then of course we're gonna hit off each other and we're gonna take some questions. And please do not be upset if we do not get to every last one of you guys' questions. There's no way. But I guess I can share this with you guys. Tidbit, we're gonna be coming to you every other month.
Right.
Something that we're working on this platform. So just stay tuned as it will be pubbing and letting you know. I can't tell you when we'll be on next, but that's something that we're discussing every other month. We have agreed to that. All right.
Yeah. And as far as the comments, understand, people, I have 2 streams of comments coming from Facebook and YouTube. So sometimes it might not come through to this one platform, or if it does come through, it might go by real fast if everybody's commenting. So just understand that if we never get to a question that you have, that that's the reason why. And please don't get upset. Like, why ain't y'all answer my question? Well, I didn't see it. Okay, so I'm gonna go and give it back to the sisters now.
What I wanted to touch on a little bit today is marriage, responsibility of both partners. And I want to start out by saying that I made a Facebook post a while ago, and I mentioned about wives showing their husbands affection, because sometimes we think as wives that we're the only ones that need that affection and that attention. And that's not true. Our husbands are looking for that too. Our husbands are looking for a kind word. Our husbands are looking for, hey, sweetie, you look handsome today. That beard looking real nice.
Encouragement.
Things of that nature. So not to feel as though, it's just something that we need. They need it too. The same way that we feel that we need to be built up, they need to be built up also. And it also puts a I don't know, it kind of, boosts up their confidence, kind of have them straighten up their back a little bit, put a smile on their face. And I think that that's something that's needed. And a lot of times we take for granted, once again, thinking that that's something that we're the only ones that have to have that affection and those nice, kind words. I also wanted to touch on as far as marriage and responsibility. Just I wanted to, and I'm not going to read the full scripture for it, but a lot of times I hear sisters talk about the Proverbs 31 woman and all of the duties that that are talked about in the scripture. And matter of fact, I think I better go ahead just to
Let's go to Proverbs 31,
Proverbs
sisters.
31. Let me get to that. You can start at 10.
Okay. Proverbs 31 and 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant's ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. Continue.
Yeah, you can go ahead and continue.
She considereth a field and buyeth it with the fruit of her hands, and she planteth a vineyard.
Oh,
Okay. So you know what? And I'm glad Brother Isaac said that. Let's just back up, because I did want to say something, but Trisha's hitting on marriage, so I want her to take the reins in that. But I do have much to say.
Go ahead.
Okay. When it comes to well, actually I want to hit verse 13. Is that okay? All right. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. Sister, that script right there is stating and showing that you're working whatever you got to do to take care of your household. Believe it or not, you are the governor of your house. Don't get me wrong, your husband is the head. However, he's looking to you to run your household, to run your children, to make sure everything is in place. Now, good or bad, and also, yes, it is a partnership. However, you're still the governor of your house.
Right. There's certain, we all have to understand that we have roles. The husband has a role, the wife has a role, even the children have a role. Everyone in the household has a role. And so one of our roles is making sure that the house runs smoothly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
What I'd like to do is interject and go back to verse 11 and 12.
Sure.
This is why I was wanting you to start it over, but start at verse 10 again. Go ahead, start at verse 10.
Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above ruby.
That means she's really valuable, right?
Yeah.
Really. You heard that, brothers? See, they teaching the sisters. I'm gonna be, hitting the brothers a little bit,
Okay.
but and the sisters too.
Yes,
but
our value.
You're right. But check out verse 11 and 12.
We have much to give, brothers.
Yeah.
That's we're becoming your helpmeet. But again, that is what you learn during dating, during courting.
Mm-hmm.
The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her.
Read that part one more time.
The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in
the
her.
Heart of her husband. That means my heart, my inner self. If I have a virtuous woman, I trust her in everything.
You guys are one.
So, sisters, if you could get the heart of your husband, he's going to trust you.
He got your
Don't
back.
always think, he on this, he on that. No, if that brother doing all he can to make you smile and make you happy, you got his heart.
Totally, which means he's trusting in you. He know that you're going to take care of the business.
Right. Keep reading.
So that he shall have no need of spoil.
Verse 12.
She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life.
Y'all heard that, sisters? You heard that, brothers? She's going to do you good all the days of your life. and not evil. But sisters, you got to be that way. You have to be good and not evil.
Mm-hmm.
Stop listening to your other sisters who, can't keep a man for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you got a man, you got a husband. Let me put it that way. You got a husband, and he trusts you, and you can see that he does. Don't take advantage of that either. Same thing with the brothers. If you got a virtuous woman that's doing everything, don't take advantage of it, because that's what's gonna mess everything up. Okay, now y'all can keep.
Because that grass ain't always green on the other side.
Right.
And I also wanted to add that along with that trust comes, like you said, doing them good and not evil, but it also, not only are you portraying yourself to be a certain way in the presence of your husband, but even outside the presence of your husband,
yes,
you represent him. You representing your household. So you have to make sure that your behavior is not going to embarrass him.
Mm-hmm.
The same way that he will probably make sure that his behavior isn't going to embarrass you.
Exactly.
So
it's teamwork.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes, it does. Teamwork does make the dream work, for whoever said that. I totally was thinking that.
That's Sister Janet Cruz.
All right, Sister Janet Cruz, you hit on it, hon. All right, we're going to go back to 16.
No, just keep reading straight down. Just keep reading on the way down. You already did 13, but just keep reading.
She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. Now that, even though I'm not married, I can speak on. I was just sharing with the brother and sister that I get up at 4:00 in the morning. For me, that's my peace. I can pray. I can meditate. I'm in good spirit. Really don't want to be awake at that time, but thank God he rose a sister. My body is so used to being up that early that I'm just conditioned to it. But I get up, I meditate, I pray, I do whatever I need to. I can even cook, y'all. I can do my dinner if I want to at that time, because it's quiet, So, or if I need to go ahead and clean up, or, leave a little note for my son and let him know, dude, I need you to do this, because right now it's me and him. But, as I stated, of course, I'm single. When my husband, he does come, it's going to be good. He's going to be straight, things to be taken care of. But again, don't get me wrong. If I'm not able to, then I expect him to do his part as well. Pick up on that. Again, that's a partnership.
Once again, teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes, it does. So, brothers, we know that you're there. Help your wife out. Help her out. We all in this together. Both of you may have jobs. When she gets home, she may be tired as well. It's not always her duty to come home and cook and clean. If you beat her there, join in, do it. Make her happy, make her smile. And then guess what? When it's time for y'all to go into that beautiful bedroom of y'all's, yeah, I'll start right there.
And even if helping out means take the chicken out before she get home. If you get home before her, you take the chicken out. It's okay.
Now let me say this, because it's gonna get said that now y'all teaching the brothers.
No.
No. So let me say this.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So brothers, again, there's nothing wrong with helping out at the crib. Now, here's the balance that I always have lived by. If my woman, wife, whatever, is at home all day, everything should be taken care of.
Oh, the expectations, it should. I
right.
Totally agree.
And I'm working. Now, if we're both working, that's when we have to take on duties at the crib equally. All right. I'm gonna take the man stuff. Of course, it doesn't even matter if she's at home all day. Mm-hmm. Brothers, y'all know.
Or even if he's at home all day.
No. I mean, brothers, y'all know we got to take the garbage out. They just ain't doing that, man. Really? So just take the garbage out, man. Okay. I'm teaching my son that. Look, man, just take the garbage out. I don't care what happens. But also, if you, let's say you're a stay-at-home dad, because that happens these days.
Yes, it does.
And she's working. Then, brothers, you need to have everything together.
Yes, I totally agree.
And I know some brothers ain't trying to hear that, but I knew a family. They weren't Israel. I knew a family where the brothers stayed at home all day, got 5 girls, didn't do nothing. He had the girls doing everything, and then when his wife came home from work, she had to do everything else. And so that's not an equal share.
No,
And plus,
partnership.
that'll also stir up anger. All right. So I just wanted to interject because people gonna say, see, they're teaching the brothers now. So let me deal with them. All right. If you feel like it.
Thank
then,
you for
all right.
interjecting. And my brother is correct, you know. Vice versa. Yeah. That again, isn't that the partnership of the marriage?
Yep.
Oh, finish read what y'all was let me see, where did we stop at though? Was it 15?
15.
She riseth also while it is yet night. I already hit them. I'm going to read it again. And giveth meat to her household and a portion to her maidens. She considereth a field and buyeth it with the fruit of her hands. She planteth a vineyard. She girdeth her loins with strength and strength in her arms. Sorry, you all. I'm working off my iPad and I just hit the wrong button and it shifted to something else. So you go ahead and get that, sis.
Verse 18. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle go out. Her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. This is basically saying that she's putting in work. She's putting in work to help build her household.
Yes.
And along with that, and I'm gonna
she's
stop
outside of the home working.
Right. And so I'm gonna stop at 18. But the reason why I wanted to read that is to also let married sisters know that even though through this scripture shows that this Proverbs 31 woman, she's every woman, she's doing everything. She's taking care of the household. She's making sure that the children are fine. But she's not doing this alone.
Right.
She's not doing this alone. And I think sometimes we as wives, we try to ascribe fully to Proverbs 31. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just want sisters, wives to understand that this Proverbs 31 woman is in a partnership with her husband. So he's assisting. Both are working towards making sure that their household is taken care of. But this is just mainly showing what the wife is doing. So I just wanted to touch on that, just to talk about that balance and responsibilities of both parties. Did you want to add something, Drew?
No, I think I done already put my 2 cents in there.
But that, because sometimes I hear or I see a lot of sisters that, they're tired. They're physically, mentally, and emotionally tired. And with that, I want to say it's okay to ask for help.
Yes.
My mom used to always say a closed mouth does not get fed. It doesn't.
Oh yeah, we used to say that on the streets too.
Yeah. So, it's there's assistance there. There's a responsibility on both parts.
It is.
So I just wanted to touch on that just a little bit.
And then I do want to add to this. That partnership, then it gets better. Then you're spending that time with each other because you have each other's back. So you're loving on each other even more. And, then too, you guys have to, take time for each other, go on vacations, do things together, and build that relationship again. Continue building, because guess what? If you have children at home, they're going to get grown, they're going to go to school, they're going to get jobs, they're going to go, and now it's you two again. How are you going to deal with each other? Are you still communicating? That is so important. So again, I'm going to bring back that comprehensive communication that we discussed last week. You got to keep that. That is part of your life, your makeup, your bond, your partnership. Keep it with each other. So while you're in the streets, loving on each other, I want to share this. I love my sisters, and that's all my sisters, especially the married ones. How showing affection to your husband and holding each other hands, and even when we're in class and holding hands and in each other's ears, that is just so beautiful to me. Instead of just sitting there like zombies and not saying anything to each other. I can't even imagine that. I'll stay single forever before I let that happen. I just want to say that. So love on each other, show your affection toward each other. Your children are watching you. You're teaching them this love and affection and this communication. So I just wanted to say that. Do we have any questions? We're going to go ahead and take a question.
No questions.
No questions. Oh, okay. We're going to keep on rolling.
I do want to bring up something though.
Okay.
All right. I also used to see sisters with this one question. Who eats first?
Oh my goodness. Don't get me started on that question.
Yeah. Who eats first? Now let me tell you my experience from when I grew up in my foster home. In the foster home I grew up in, it was 8 boys, 2 girls. Mama did all this cooking, and she fixed Daddy 2 plates and put them away, and then let us eat. If he wasn't there, if he was there, can't nobody touch nothing till he came and got what he wanted first. Some sisters don't see it that way. They feel like the kids should eat and he should wait. Now that's just my experience. What do you guys say about who eats first?
You know what? Look, let me tell you something. This topic to me, and I think it goes toward what experience that woman has had. Because in our household, I fix my husband's plate first. I take him his plate. I take him his plate with his. I take that to him first. Sometimes we have his son there, my stepson. We get him, every other weekend, and he's old enough to fix his own plate. So I tell him, food is ready, but my husband, I give him his plate first. This does not mean, and some sisters, they take this overboard as though ain't nobody gonna eat before my kids. My kids they're not gonna go hungry, this and that. If that's the experience that you dealt with as a child or as an adult or whatever, when that statement is made, it's not dealing with anything negative. It's dealing with something positive. There's nothing wrong with you giving your husband his plate first. Nobody's saying your husband is going to eat up what he wants and then everybody else gets whatever. No.
Right.
Everybody's going to eat, but I give my husband his plate first. Why? Because he's the head. He's the head. And so I make sure he's squared away and everybody else eats. And that's just how it goes. But that's not to say it gets such a negative connotation as though everybody else in the household is going to starve. And, that's not, nobody's speaking from that negative aspect. We're speaking from the positive aspect of a wife serving her husband first and everyone else eating.
Now I got one sister, I forgot who it was, Sister Johnson. She has said that her husband refuses to eat before the kids. That's his choice. All right. That's definitely his choice. And then we got Brother Melvin Israel. He says that we eat together. If I'm not going to be home on time, put my plate to the side and eat.
That's right.
So it's still coming down to you making sure that your partner is fed first.
Exactly.
It still comes down to that. You can't let the kids just take everything, and then the next thing you know, he coming home like, well, where the food at?
Right.
Well, the kids was hungry, because now he gonna be upset.
Exactly.
He's gonna be upset. This is a partnership.
Right.
Exactly.
And it's not, like I said before, it's not meant to be something negative. Because I've seen some sisters say, "Ain't no man coming before my kids."
Right.
It's not. It's not that you're putting someone before your kids. It's not that you're starving your kids and nobody has anything. No, it's just the thing of who gets their plate first. If that, like you mentioned earlier, if their husband says he don't want to have his plate first, he want the kids to eat first, that's fine. But everybody ain't starving. He's not eating up everything and the kids get the scraps. And I think that's the negative connotation of it, because when I put that question up on my Facebook feed a while ago, some of the answers were just negative. And I'm like, well, what kind of household did y'all, what kind of
household? Everyone's household is different.
Right.
Look up there what your husband said.
I'm just wondering.
Wait, what did he say?
He said, I get the big piece of chicken.
Yes, yeah, you do, babe. Yeah, you do. But I just said all that to say that it's okay. It doesn't mean that your children are being neglected.
Right.
It just means that your husband is just getting his plate first. It's still food that's there. Everybody's eating. Nobody's being neglected. It's just showing respect. It's showing appreciation. And if the husband decides he doesn't want to eat first, that's fine.
That's his choice.
That's it. That's his choice.
Right. That's his choice.
But it doesn't mean that, folks are being abused because they feed their husband. They fix his plate first.
Gotcha.
It doesn't mean that children are being neglected and starved. Yeah. That's what I want to say.
Well, as I'm not married, I don't know why I have to keep stipulating.
As you're a single sister.
As I'm a single sister. Growing up in the household I shared with you guys last week, I grew up with 4 brothers and, of course, my dad. And we didn't get to eat with him only on the weekends. So we all ate together. So I really can't say who got their plate first or anything, but I do know that my dad took care of the home. Now, when I started living here in Chicago and living with my grandmother and my granddad, again, we all ate together. So again, I didn't see a man eating first or getting his plate first. We all just got our plates. We came and sat down and we prayed and we ate together. But I would say, it just depends on your household and the relationship, I guess, you have with your husband, how you're honoring him or how your marriage is being honored. And it's like this. Aren't you guys sitting down together and eating?
Right.
No, I can understand if he's not there, then yeah, that would be the best thing to do. Let me fix your daddy a plate and now y'all can go for it, or, go get your plate and we all sitting down and eating together, But yeah, I'm going to make sure that my husband's plate is to the side. But other than that, if I can, I'm going to wait till he get home and hopefully he has waited until I got home and we're going to eat together.
And either way, no one is being neglected or starved.
Right, because there's hopefully plenty of food. You know how to cook for your family now, sisters, right? You know to have those portions. Make it stretch and last and, feed your family something.
And plus a brother, just to let the sisters know, real brothers, if there's not that much food, they are going to let their kids eat.
I totally
agree. They're gonna be like, they're gonna go eat.
I believe that.
They may be like, look, I'm gonna eat this hot dog. Y'all can eat the rest of this over here.
Right.
But if there's plenty of food, yeah, he should get his plate first.
I agree.
He really should.
Right. And I just want to add just one more thing, because I don't want people to think that I'm being insensitive toward situations that this may be happening in. There are situations out there where, children are being neglected with food because because of their home situation. I understand that, and I don't want people to think that I'm being insensitive to that. But what I'm saying is that it's not always coming from it's not always a negative connotation when a wife wants to hand her husband his plate first, even if they're sitting at a table together. If she decides, I'm going to fix his plate, here you go, babe, and the everybody's still eating at the table. But I just want women to look at it as there is a positive, that this is not anything negative. This is something that's positive. And sometimes we look at things at first at a negative point of view as far as what we may have went through or things of that nature. But yeah, I'll just end that with that.
And plus, as a man, we really look at our wife like, wow, she got my back, no matter what. When there's plenty of food, but if he's getting his plate put to the side or if he's getting his plate served first, we know that's out of love. We know that woman really, really loves me. Let me give y'all a little brief story that happened in my household. Again, there's 8 boys, 2 girls, right? My oldest brother, I think I'm number 6 or 7, but but my oldest brother, he got to filling his oats, and all that. And my father, sometimes, he would come through the house because he got 8 boys to deal with. He just pop him in the chest real quick. Just be like, what you doing, boy? We used to walk around with our hands crossed like this. Man, what's up, Pop? How you doing, man? But he did it to my oldest brother one time, and my oldest brother couldn't take it no more. So they got to fight. And the biggest shock of my life was when my mother came out of the back with a 2x4 and cracked my brother across the back. Because and he was like, wait a minute, why you do that to me, mom? Because we all thinking mama on our side, with the kids. But she was like, first of all, that's my husband. Second of all, that's your daddy. And that changed everything. I said, wow, she really loved him. So when it come to the food
she did
thing,
him good, didn't she?
Cracked the board in half on my brother's back. We were terrified. The rest of us was like, man, I ain't messing with mama, man.
See, our sisters, that's what happens when you don't spare that ride.
but that showed, I'm quite sure to my father, he was like, yeah, my baby still got my back. Even though, these boys getting older, she's showing them, look, that's my husband first. Right. So the same thing with the food. It's like, you serving me my food before the kids, even though we got a lot. Man, this woman really loved me.
Oh yeah,
and that's what makes the bond even tighter. Yeah, that's what makes it even tighter.
That's good. Okay, it's a good thing. That was all I had. Was there anything else that?
Let me see. Where did y'all stop at? Y'all stopped at 20.
I stopped at 18.
At 18. Okay.
Yeah, I just stopped it there just to kind of.
Just keep reading it down, because this Proverbs 31 is definitely needs to be diced up.
It is, and it's something else that elaborate with respect to women. Period. Whether you're single or married, this is women, sisters. This is how it teaches us to be a woman.
And verse 19 says, she layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor. Yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. Now, these sisters out here also, this scripture also says that she is also helping the poor. So she's wearing a lot of different hats. It's not just, and sometimes some sisters feel as though I don't have my identity anymore since I've been married, and all I am is mom and wife and things of that nature. But this is showing that she's also doing things. She's volunteering for the needy. So for sisters who feel as though, I just feel like I'm somebody's mama and somebody's wife and I don't know who I am anymore, there are other avenues for you to, for different hobbies or things that you can do concerning the community. Exactly. If you have time, if you can fit in time for that. But I just want to let you know that you're not just a mom. You're not just a wife. You are, what you do for your household, it means a lot to the husband and to the children. And it's okay.
To your community.
Right. And it's okay to find things outside of the home, to do, right. As far as like Proverbs 21, she gives to the needy.
Mm-hmm. Let me interrupt. Sister Dorsey, this is a good thing right here. Yeah. She said, a brother once said, women usually bring the food into the home. Make sure we aren't causing disease, heart, high blood pressure, etc. That's resonated. And that's true, because if I don't get a wife, I might not live long. Because we don't eat right. A lot of us as brothers, we don't eat right. And so a woman is trying to really let her husband live long by trying to feed him right. And that's total love too.
It sure is, because she cares, so you won't have to be on medication, for the rest of your life. But I'm gonna lay on back and hit you on that. Get you a dog, get you a pet, get you a cat, okay, while you're still single, because you're showing affection to them as well. But you have kids here, so they help you. As long as you're raising children too, that'll help. But I want to come back and just, as Trish has shared, with respect to working in your community and giving back, volunteering. That is a great thing to do, because again, you're giving back to your community. Your children are seeing you, you help them taking care of other people other than your household. That is a beautiful thing. That's a great thing. And with me saying that, I'm going to lead up to the point that last week, I kept saying my sisters, my saga sisters, my saga sisters.
Oh yeah.
I want to let you guys know that is not a sorority.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I don't do sororities. Okay. That's another matter we can discuss at another time.
Yes,
Getting
we
into.
can.
However, I want to say that is a non-for-profit organization that I belong to. That it started with a group of sisters, but now the husbands are part of it, and it's called Souls Addressing God's Agenda. Saga. Look us up. We also give to the needy and to the homeless, and we feed and we clothe them, and that is our mission. And that help fulfills me. That is something that I do. So I just want to put that out there. So if you're interested, check us out, sagaesc.org. I had to plug that right quick. And there's more information that'll come later on, but I just want to share with you that is the organization to start with in serving your community.
I got a question that does need to be answered, if you can. This is from, can y'all see it up there on the monitor? Can you? Phyllis Campbell. Yeah. All right. What can a wife do when the love and affection is gone in a marriage? When she no longer has the emotion for him because of other circumstances. Only thing I can say in my view is we don't know what the other circumstances are, but when it comes to when you lost the love and affection, what can you do in your marriage to try to get it back from a sister's point of view?
Well, outside of us not, like you mentioned before, outside of us not knowing what those other circumstances are, but generally think back to why you married this man. It was your decision. It was something about this man that you said, you know what? I want to marry him. I want to take his last name. Mm-hmm. It had to have been something. And so think on that. Think on that to find and then if you're having issues with that, go to him and try to explain to him why you feel the way that you feel. Yeah. And maybe that can be a discussion that can open up things of, to let him know if it's certain things that he should have said or shouldn't have said, or whatever the case may be. Right. But if you're not expressing, and I'm not saying that you haven't, but I'm just using this as an example. If you're not expressing what is going on with you and why you feel a certain way towards your husband, then that's just going to cause more resentment.
And that's that silent treatment we spoke of last week. You can't be silent.
Because we're thinking, he doesn't care, blah, blah, but if you're not speaking on...
may not even know.
If you're not speaking on what's going on and why you feel a certain way, he isn't going to know. Mm-hmm. And things will continue. And then your resentment will continue. And before you know it...
He's not a mind reader, sisters.
Then it turns into major issues within the marriage. So... my thing would be, talk to him. Tell him how you feel and why. And remember why you made that choice to marry him.
And can I suggest, don't do it at home because your spirit, your voices can rise. Go out in public. Go to a restaurant. Sit down and say, you know what, babe? And treat him. Babe, let's go to dinner, Let's go on and have a good time. And then talk, say, it's just some things I want to share with you. And that's going to also keep you disciplined and be humble and meek and keep your voice low at a meeting because you are in a restaurant and you don't want folks in your business like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to keep you. That's just a start for us who gets aggressive or get high, excited when we getting upset or talking, because I'm one of those people, I get excited. And again, I'm not trying to raise my voice and holler at you, but I do get excited. And then that way you listening to him, he's listening to you. You guys have each other's attention because you sitting across from each other, so you're in each other's faces. And then you seeing that it's being real. That conversation is real. And you listening, you be like, oh my goodness, he may bring up some things that you didn't even know about. That you did or said or didn't say or do, vice versa, Okay.
And I want to add, if you're that sister, if you're the opposite of what Drew just mentioned, if you're that sister that gets real passionate and her voice raises and other things come out, write that man a letter.
I like that.
put it in a letter.
I like that.
Yeah.
And hand it over to him and say, babe, I need for you to read this. Don't just write it and put it somewhere thinking he may find. Write the letter.
Put it under the pillow.
Give it to him, because if you know that you're that type of person that's gonna come unhinged or whatever,
I appreciate that totally.
let him read that letter and just just leave it with that, and maybe he'll come back and express what he got from the letter and things of that nature. But always make sure that you let that person know how you're feeling, why you're feeling a certain way.
Yeah, and that you still have the love for him, but it's just, you guys haven't been emotionally connecting with each other, and see, that's why I tell everyone, as my sister here brought up last week, those emotions, and, they can come from the pit of hell, them butterflies. You have to share everything, whether you think it's going to hurt his feelings or not. Just let him know, babe, I need to say all of this, so please read it and hear me when I say this, and then come to me when you have heard me, and let's talk about this, because if not, it's going to get worse, and I don't want it to get worse. I love you. Let's work this out. And I think he will hear you, sisters. I really do. But again, in that letter Trisha's talking about, don't curse that man out.
Oh no.
Okay?
Don't do that.
That's not what that letter is for.
Because we will shut down on the letter too.
Yes. Yep. Don't curse him out. Don't do that. That is a no. Yes, you want to pour your heart out. You want to say what you got to say, but use your big girl words, not them bad words, okay?
And I also want to add something too about marriage. And I hear this a lot. I hear people say, oh, marriage is so hard. It's just so hard. And I'm going to tell you something. And I have people tell me I'm crazy for saying this, but I rebuke that. And here's why I rebuke that. Marriage isn't hard. There's no way that I can believe that the God that we serve would put man and woman together in a marriage for it to be hard.
That's a sip right there.
I refuse to believe that.
That's a sip. Come on. Come on.
That's a sip moment, y'all.
Hold on, y'all. Can y'all see me? Hold on.
They taking a sip.
That's a sip right there.
Yeah.
But what I do believe about marriage is this. We come into it with our issues that we already have.
Yeah.
That is what makes it challenging. Marriage itself isn't hard. We're the ones who make it hard. Okay?
Say that, my sister.
Whether it's communication, right? Whether it's communication, or whether we didn't take the time to get to know this person.
Right.
Right. That's where that dating comes from.
That's where the dating and the courting comes in. You have to know each other with your exactly personalities. But never let those words come out of your mouth to say marriage is hard. God wouldn't have put it together. He wouldn't have put this bond together to make it challenging and to make that's not what it's about. But before we get to the point where we want to be married, and I'm speaking to the women, any baggage that you have, that you know that you have, take care of that and be honest with yourself as far as that's concerned. Because you have to ask yourself, and I had to ask myself this when I was, single. Would you marry you?
Oh, that is a great question.
Would you marry you?
Something to think about, my single sisters.
So coming into something, but coming into something saying, well, this person's going to have to accept me for the way that I am because this is who I am, blah, blah, blah. No, nobody has to accept.
Why should he take on your baggage?
Right.
Let me
so
compare.
That's something to work on. And especially when we know that we have something that we have to deal with. No matter how you were raised, you're a grown person now. So you have to take ownership for who you are right now, sisters. My single sisters, I'm talking to you. And some married sisters too, if you still got some issues going on. While we're dating, we know we have a bad attitude, work on it. We know we get upset easily or whatever, Work on it. We know we don't like anybody hollering and screaming at us. Try to be a little bit tolerant. Work on that as well. Work on you, on that, on yourself. Treat a person the way you want to be treated. If he can't love on you, my sisters now that are married, then again, that's something you guys got to discuss because now you are already there. You stuck. You guys got to work on that. But I'm talking to my singles right now, my single sisters coming right now. Why are we still single? Well, I can give you a whole bunch of reasons.
I can't.
Truly, I can. You know, but for me, myself, I know what I'm going to tolerate and what I'm not. I'm never, ever going to settle. Okay? I'm going to be 54 years old this year. Praise God. Never been married. Almost got there 3 times. It is what it is. I don't let that make me, because I love who I am. So I keep busy. We're going to come back and touch on some of those subjects. You know, I'm a virgin. I look at myself being a virgin, and that's how you got to look at it. Is this man worthy of me? Don't be giving up the goods because you want to get with somebody or you think you can be a great wife for him. We're going to come back and hit on that too.
What I want to
so being
touch
single,
real quick.
just, work on yourself right now.
What I want to touch on, what I want to touch on.
Brother Oscar, I just want to say one thing right quick.
Okay, go ahead.
And I also want to reiterate that with working out that baggage before you get married, it's not just so that you can find you a husband, but working that out also helps to make you a better person all around.
Yes.
So it's not just something that you're just doing for a man. You're doing this for self because this is something that you need to do. So, okay.
Exactly. Go ahead.
What I want everyone to understand is that when the Lord put marriage together between man and woman, it's also the same marriage he put between Israel and him.
Yeah.
So as a wife, and when I say wife, I'm speaking to women and men, because men, we're the wife of Christ, right? We can't come as we are. We can come as we are, but then we have to change. Christ is not going to keep the same old Israel that came out of the wilderness.
T moment. That's a T moment.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a T moment.
Christ is not going to keep the same wife he had that came out of the wilderness, right? He wants a whole different other wife. So it's the same thing when it comes between marriage, between man and woman. Everybody has to change who they used to be. I can't come to my Lord and say, you just got to accept me how I am. This is the way I am. And each man, yeah, okay. You think that's what I got to do?
First of all, the word ain't going to let you continue being
right
who you used to be if you in this word. Now, if you y'all just playing with yourself, then we going to see that too. And I was sharing with that, it started cleansing you. That's where that glow come in, that radiance, that love. People can feel that positive and the negative energy. And the Lord ain't going to go for that, just like no man going to go for that, sisters.
Right.
And we know that. Come on now, let's be real. Sisters, we know the drama that we got going on in our lives. We know what we need to clean up in our life. Do it.
Right.
Make some changes. And guess what? You're going to see the change, and they're going to see the change. I promise you that.
Lost that, where were we at? 20,
21. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple, which means that she has some nice clothing.
Or she's going to make sure her children, her household is dressed appropriately. They're not going to be wanting for shoes or socks and, the necessities. That's a given, sisters. We're not saying you have to go out and buy Air Ones or Jordans or whatever and all that. No, we're just saying making sure that your household is being taken care of. Your kids getting the necessities. And that comes with food as well. Y'all got to cook. You can't be just throwing microwave dinners in there all the time. You all got to cook for your family. Just want to say that. And I do that, like this week, every day, I was just telling the brother and sister, I didn't really study the word this week the way that I wanted to. Because I just really got back to going back to work. So I've been back now for maybe 8 to 10 days. And so every day of this week, though, there was some reading that I need to do, some things that I need to get, you know, get in me that I want to just read on, and I wasn't able to do it because I'm waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like I say, I pray and meditate, but then now I'm getting ready. Got to be at work at 6 o'clock this week. Then I'm staying to 6 o'clock in the evening, getting home. And I told my son, dude, I love you, but you're on your own.
Okay.
And you know what? Even though he's been off of work and working from home, he could still have cooked or cleaned or whatever. But still, because I'm the mom and I'm the woman, of the house, I still feel that I need to cook for my household. But I told him, I'm tired. I'm going to pick up something. Here it is. And you know what? He was appreciative. Thank you, Mom. I appreciate it because, I could have just not fed him or whatever, but I'm not going to do that. That's my household. Even though he's 23, it doesn't matter. He's living at my house. That's my household, which means I'm showing him what he's going to be looking for in a woman. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And then also what he's going to be contributing as a man, So I just want to say that, man, she got a grown son in her house and she's still coming home cooking. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that anymore. He on his own. No, don't have that mindset, sisters. He's not on his own yet. If I was to let my son go, he can make it mentally and emotionally, but financially right now, he's not able to. I want, when my son leaves my house, I want him to financially make it so he ain't ever got to come back. That is the goal. That is my plan for my son. And he knows he got 2 more kids. That is our goal. We talked about that. Now, even if a man right now, wants to say, Drew, I want to marry you, guess what? Again, that's why we're dating, because we're going to be discussing all of that. Well, my son is still at home with me. Do you have a problem? This is what we had talked about. Okay, if you don't want him at home with us, then what we're going to do for him so that he can make it on his own out there. Do you plan on renting a place for him to be? See, that's money now coming out of both our pockets. Why don't he just stay at home doing what he's doing? But again, that is those discussions as a single sister that we need to be having with these men while they're courting us. Don't forget that. Okay.
We got 2, which is a subject y'all already said you're going to. 2 people already said, what about the independent woman? Do y'all want to deal with that now or after this?
We can deal with that now.
I guess so, yeah, because I'm hitting on it right. Aren't I independent woman right now? I'm a single mom, independent woman. I think so.
Hold on. Let me go. Well, go ahead. Keep talking. I'm going to try to find Gail's comment. I got to go back.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with being independent. I am independent. You don't have a choice but to be independent if you are the head of your household. Now, I'm coming as a single sister. I'll let Trish hit on that as a married sister. But as a single sister, everything is dependent on us. You have no choice but to be independent. Now, I'm dating right now. I'm not usurping any authority over this man right now. We're both, to me, it's a collaboration. Mm-hmm. He's telling me things. I'm telling him things.
Right.
I'm telling him my expectations that I have if we're going to become one. He's sharing with me. He knows that my son is in the picture. His children are grown adults, almost 30. They out of the house. My son isn't. That is something we discuss on. And you know what? He doesn't have a problem with that. And I love it, But again, we're still getting to know each other. He hasn't met my son, and he ain't going to meet my son yet until we decide that we're going to be exclusive.
I think they may be talking about when it comes to, because again, we've grown up in this society as, all my girls is independent, throw your hands up at me. But I think what Gail said here was the independent woman has killed a lot of marriages. I think that once you
I can't speak of that.
See, once we kind of touched on it earlier when you have a single mindset. But then when you get married, you got to change. Just like when you get married the Lord, you got to change what you used to be.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of, I guess, women that don't do that. They stay independent while they're married, I guess.
Right.
I guess that's what they're saying.
That's mindset changes.
Yeah.
Right.
And someone quoted women's liberation too. So.
Yeah. We're going to hit that.
Yeah.
And see, here's the...
I don't believe in women liberation.
Here's because I think Sister Gail also mentioned about a woman being raised to be independent. And I think she had a comment mentioning that. Hey, Sister Gail.
Hey, sis.
What I want to hit on with that is my mother had it was 3 girls, 2 boys, okay? And my mother taught us how to be independent. She taught us how to pay bills. She taught us how to write. This is before they even started doing it in the schools, but she taught us how to write checks. She taught us how to cook. She taught my sisters and I how to be independent women, okay? Now, love my mama to death.
I'm sorry, Tori just said they're talking about the type that don't need a man and feel like they can do it all.
That's what I'm finna get. That's what I'm finna get into.
Go ahead.
I'm not that type of sister.
My mother, in the beginning, when she was married to my stepfather, she was a stay-at-home mom. We saw her work as a stay-at-home mom. House ran like clockwork. So I saw that aspect of my mother. But when they divorced, I saw another aspect of my mother. And through her hurt, she made sure that my sisters and I would be able to take care of ourselves, period, with or without a man. And so that's what we were raised on. But as I got older and I kept hearing, I would hear certain women say, well, I could do everything, on my own. I don't need a man for nothing, blah, 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 this and that and the third.
Yes, we do. That's a lie.
And everybody needs somebody.
Totally.
Okay. So, you have these women out here saying things like, and if that's how you feel and that's what you want to do, all power to you. But what's the purpose of a man thinking he can come into your life? You will continually to be single because his thing is you got it all covered.
Exactly.
You don't need me.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work that way.
Mm-mm.
Because if you have this mindset as I'm this independent woman and I can do whatever I want to do and I don't need him.
Married.
Right. And not only that, if you do decide to get married, now you got 2 chiefs in the house.
Uh-oh.
Everybody can't be a chief.
No.
So now you're clashing with your husband to be the head of the household, to run things. Mm-hmm. And that's not going to work. Mm-hmm. And that's why Sister Gail said independent women have killed marriages. Because if you don't understand what your role is, and by me saying understand what your role is, that's not to say that a woman is devalued or anything of that nature. But me being a wife, my job is not to butt heads with my husband.
I say that.
I don't have time for that. And it makes things harder.
Mm-hmm.
It makes, Tori say pull the mic back. Okay, Tori. But it makes things harder when you come into a situation and you're saying, I don't need this man to do anything for me.
And we know that's a lie. Come on, y'all, just be real.
You're diminishing what he was taught as a man to bring into a marriage. Mm-hmm. You're shutting that down.
Mm-hmm. Again, what is the point of being married? If you're so independent and you're so happy and love yourself, then stay single. Now, as I said, I ain't trying to say single. I want to share the person who I am with someone, and I want to that reciprocated. You know what I'm saying? I want someone loving on me. I want those massages and someone talking to and everything and holding hands and all that affection. I want that. Come on. Who really want to be at home by themselves and just doing nothing? I'm an independent woman. What is that getting you? Are you happy? No. Be real. You are not happy. Okay? We first of all, we were created anyway to be fruitful and multiply. So how are you going to do that being an independent woman? Now, don't get me wrong. For our single sisters, we do have to take care of our household. That what makes us independent. But you got to change that mindset while you're courting, while you're dating, because isn't that the point of why you dating this man, so that y'all can become one? So now you're weeding out some of that independence, but long as he know you got him in that marriage, that's what that independence is all about. Anything can happen to your husband, to your spouse, my sisters. God forbid anything happen. But what if he gets sick? What if he can no longer do the things that he used to do? Are you capable and able to continue running that household? That's what independence is all about. And as Trish stated, her mom taught us. I hope most of our moms taught us how to take care of ourselves and love ourselves so that we can raise and love our children and also love our husbands. We're not getting married to raise a man, to raise a husband. He's already raised. So he's your head, my sisters. Let him do his job and you do your job in becoming his helpmeet, but becoming an honorable woman with humility and just loving, being his bone, his rib that you are. That's what it's all about. That's your independence, knowing that your husband can say, she got my back. She making this decision for our household, even though we're going to discuss it. Babe, what do you think is good for us? Because I say blah, blah, blah. You say this, let's come together. Boom. Okay.
Let me address this statement right here. Sister Joanne Peebles Masui, I guess, Mahaya.
Ooh, I know
I'm sorry.
That's sister's name.
Please,
what was the
please
first
don't
name?
send me
Let's
a
just
messed
go by the
up.
first name.
Please don't send me a messed up inbox. I apologize, sister. I'm gonna just say Sister Joanne. How's that?
There we go.
She says, I continue to be single because I'm not going to put a man above Yah, especially when dating, because these men, whether they follow Yah or not, want sex first. Not going there, I'll wait. First of all, sister, a lot of men don't want sex first. They want that wife. There's some that do. I'm not gonna say that you're wrong, but and you're not supposed to put a man before God. It's supposed to be God. I think we dealt with that in the first part one. So you got to watch part one, and we dealt with that with making sure that you follow God and not a Nabal. When it comes to sex first, if that's all a brother keep pushing for, it's probably time to move on.
Exactly.
It's probably time to move on if they want it.
I don't do second or third dates because I can see it coming. That's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
So exit to the left. And I think I see my sister Dawn Haley. Hey, sis, saying most importantly that we should pray for each other. Totally. Yeah. Again, that's what that courting and dating is all about. You should be praying for each other even during that time. Again, I'm dating, and that brother, I was really surprised, because he doesn't go to church. He doesn't do anything. And I'm okay with that. Shared that with y'all last week too, but he know who I serve, and he even say happy Sabbath day. He'll tell me, wake up in the morning, hey, you know what? I pray for you today. I was like, you know what? Thank you. I appreciate that. And sometimes I feel bad because, I didn't pray for you. And I'm wrong, but I'm just keeping it real. But now he is in my prayers. You know what I'm saying? So, and because I'm in his and he's in mine, now the Lord is getting us ready for each other. That's what I believe. You know what I'm saying? Because now maybe this man do want me, and they just make you think about some things. So yeah, if you're going to be dating this guy and y'all feeling each other and you have had some discussions of being exclusive, and becoming husband and wife, becoming one, then you need to start right then and there, start praying for each other. We know, sisters.
And also during that courting.
After this, we're going to keep reading.
Okay. And also while dating or / courting and doing that prayer, also pray that, while you're praying for each other, but also pray that that the Lord, is guiding your decision. And one of my things was always, Lord, if he ain't the one, show me what I'm missing. And I will back off.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
And you have to, if you saying a prayer like that, you have to follow it.
Yes, you do. You got to be true to yourself, sisters.
But and even in like the sister said, also, pray even for my being married. I pray for my husband constantly,
which we should.
I pray for him constantly because I love him. Mm-hmm. I don't want anything bad to happen to him. Mm-hmm. But I also, in that prayer, also ask the Lord to continue to build him into the husband that the Lord wants him to be.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And I pray for the Lord to do that for me also, for me to, to ask him to help me to be the wife that my husband needs and that you, Lord, want me to be. Because that's the most important thing.
Exactly.
But it's just, it's just one of those things. You got to take your time.
It is. Let's go ahead and try to finish this out because it's already 10:30.
Yep. So I mean, we can go from Proverbs 31 and go into, because I think.
Well, keep reading because
okay.
There's something I want to.
What we're touching is mainly in Proverbs 31. Breaks down everything for a single woman, a young lady coming up, a girl, or a woman who's married, everything. So y'all just bear with us. If we don't get to some other scripts, that's fine. But we're hitting on points that we think that we want to share with our sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 23 says, her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. And this is, and I want to stop right here also because this is something that I mentioned earlier when I said being a wife, you have to be mindful of your behavior. Yes. Not only within the home, but outside of the home. Because why? Your husband. His friends gonna be like, man, I saw your wife. What is going on? She was out here clowning. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yes.
It says she maketh fine linen and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant. The strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. Anybody wanna?
No, just keep reading.
Let me see. Oh, she openeth her mouth with wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Let me read this again.
Mm-hmm.
She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. Now I heard Oz over there say, Did you? Is this something you
She opened up her mouth with wisdom, not the ways of the world. That tells everything right there. Wisdom is coming from this book. It's coming from the word of God. The ways of the world is wickedness.
Exactly.
So she always speaking wickedness. She ain't a virtual woman.
No, she's not. And I want to interject on that as well. Always having something nice and kind to say. Let's go back to that old adage. My dad used to say, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say nothing at all. That's what that means. It's okay, sisters, to love on each other and speak kind words to each other. If all you got to say is, girl, I'm liking that dress, I'm digging that dress, that's good. You probably don't rock that woman's world. You done made her feel good for the day. You don't always need to downgrade or downplay anybody, especially a sister. We're supposed to always uplift each other, and be there for each other. If you don't have anything kind to say, be quiet. Just look at her, smile. Or even walk away. God bless you, sis. Happy Saturday. Peace to you. Or again, don't have anything to say at all. Sis, you all good? How can I help you? Everything all good, sis. I'm gonna pray for you. Or let's pray together. You know what I'm saying? I've been thinking about you. Fast together. Just like yesterday. I'm gonna share this with you guys. I was at work. I had posted something on Facebook, I think, to the saying, hey, check on your single friends, doing this virus and stuff, because I have a lot of sisters, a lot of friends who's single, who's not able to get to families because of this virus, and I don't want them to become depressed or anything, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all, it's madness. Folks is killing themselves. They can't take it, committing suicide. Right. So I had to put that out there. Check on your friends. And so later on, my phone just blowing up, text messages and everything coming through. And I'm like, hey, Drew, how you doing, girl? You've been on my mind. I love you. But I'm like, wait a minute. it started scaring me. Lord, you ain't trying to take me out right now. What's going on? You know what I'm saying, folks? And and then one my sister said, "Well, you did says check on your single friends." I'm like, okay, you're right, I did, but it just scares me, you know. But praise God that the love that I was feeling from you guys, you know, that you responded to that. Thank you. But remember, always just be kind, you know. But you know, if something is wrong, something is they're doing something wrong again, as I shared last week, let's pull that sister to the side. You know, and if you don't think that you can do it, then talk to maybe another sister, elder sister. You know, I love this girl. You know, something is wrong. How can I say something to her? Can you come with me and can we talk to her together? And y'all ain't got to be putting her business out there in the street. You don't do that. It ain't nobody's business. You know, it's between you guys. That's how you handle everything. Just be kind to each other, respectful, love each other.
We might have to go here already. Sister Joanne, if a man wants sex, he is not a true servant of Yah. Sex without the intent to marry is fornication, which is a sin. And a sin, when it is finished, bring forth death.
That is correct, Brother Melvin Israel.
Yeah, we're going to finish this out here, and I guess we can go ahead into that. We're going to be here for another hour, y'all.
Yeah, we had some script for that. We knew that it was coming.
We knew that was going to come.
And we can hit on that.
Let's finish out the Proverbs first.
Okay.
And then we'll come.
Let's see. What else? Okay, okay. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness, which means the sister is always busy.
Mm-hmm.
Her children arise up and call her blessed. Mm-hmm. Her husband also, and he praiseth her.
That's what I wanted to get to. That's why I was like, no, we're going to finish this out. Because if you doing that well, your husband is going to brag about you. Yeah. He's going to tell his man, she do this, she do that. Man, she got the crib all together. The opposite of that is what a lot of brothers have dealt with independent so-called women, you know, especially if you're living together first. Man, she don't cook, she don't clean, you know, we got kids together, she don't even watch them. I come home, that's the opposite, that's the complaining. Yeah. But what he's saying here is her husband also, and he praiseth her. Mm-hmm. Even the children are going to praise her. If your children and your husband are praising you, yes, you're a Proverbs 31 woman. Yeah. I had to let y'all read that. You can finish the rest of it out now.
Let's see. Verse 29. Mm-hmm. Many daughters have done virtuously, that thou art excellent, but thou excellest them all. Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Now I want to elaborate on this for a moment. And I like how it says, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain.
Mm-hmm. Cut my mic.
Marriage is much deeper than, oh, he fine, oh, she fine. It's much deeper than that, because when you're married, things start to happen to your body. Okay? Things start to happen that, you know, you're not as, wrinkles and gray hair. And I don't have anything against wrinkles and gray hair, but just to say that, right, just to focus off of how someone looks or how much money they have, marriage and being a Proverbs 31 woman is deeper than that. Okay? So I just wanted to, talk on that. Did you want to add anything on that?
That's that realness that you're feeling about that person and their spirit. You know that they're true to self and they're true to the Most High God. And that's one thing I want to say, sisters. When we're doing what we're supposed to do, according to this word, especially here in Proverbs 31, that beauty, that's your beauty. Because you're keeping these fruits of the spirit. Because you loving on your husband, loving on your man, loving on your children. That's that beauty. You know what I'm saying? That is true beauty. I don't care how fine or how ugly you think you may be. But your true beauty shines when you taking care of your household and taking care of your business and you keeping your mouth closed and no drama going on in your life. People want to be around that. People can feel that.
Oh, and the last one is verse 31. Give her of the fruit of her hands and let her own works praise her in the gates.
Which means that you can celebrate her. Why not? She's worthy. She's totally deemed worthy. Your wife is taking care of the business, or no, let me come back to that. Sisters, you know when you take care of the business, your husband gonna be so grateful, girl. You're gonna get all kind of stuff that you probably never had expected to receive. Okay. I'm just gonna leave it right there.
Yeah. And as a brother, if my wife is doing all that, if I'm praising her, man, I'm rewarding her too.
Exactly.
I'm like, man, I'm about to get my baby this. I'm about to get her that. Surprise her. And she's gonna love it because I see that she's a virtuous woman. Mm-hmm. As a brother, brothers. And y'all know the same thing. Y'all do anything for your wife if she's good. Y'all know that. But if she's rotten to your bones, you be like, man, this girl. So since we finished 31 and we had a sister that kept bringing up sex before marriage, which came in a couple of times on here. And then, like I said, what Brother Melvin said, we need to just go ahead and deal with it. We need to just go ahead and deal with it. Where was that again? I forgot. Deuteronomy 22, right? Yeah.
Deuteronomy 22, 23 through 28. And then there's also Deuteronomy 20 and 7, Exodus 22 and 16. We got something for y'all because we knew it was coming.
Yeah, I would start at 22. 22 and
Deuteronomy 22.
Yeah. So what we're going to deal with, people, with this subject is sex before marriage. All right? We're talking about sex before marriage, not sex is marriage. We're talking about sex before marriage, which is fornication. Mm-hmm. All right? We need everybody to understand that because there's things going around telling people, you know, once you have sex, you're actually married. Let's read what the book says.
Yeah.
So y'all go ahead and read.
Okay. Deuteronomy 22 and 22.
And before we get started, I'm right here, people. I just had to, I'm here. Okay. I'm just off camera. All right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We're going to start with 22 and go through 28. And we may just go further than that, but we'll see. Yeah. If a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, then they shall both of them die.
They're both going to die because they're committing adultery. Yeah, they're committing adultery. Keep reading.
Both the man that lay with the woman and the woman. Mm-hmm. So shalt thou put away evil from Israel.
Now, the reason I wanted you to read that, because I want everyone to understand what Christ was doing with the woman that was caught in adultery. He didn't convict her. He gave her grace. He gave her grace and mercy. But the Pharisees that brought her didn't do it by the law. You read here, it says that the man has to die too.
Yes.
And so they didn't bring the man. So that was an unlawful judgment. I just really wanted to point that out. Mm-hmm. You know, me personally, this is just me. This ain't the book. I believe the Pharisees was probably one of their brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, what you doing? Oh, man, man, look, go home. We about to take her and kill her. You know, that's what I feel personally. I ain't what the book say, but so now we're gonna get into a damsel in 23.
Okay. If a damsel that is a virgin betrothed unto an husband, and a man find her in the city and lie with her, then ye shall bring them both out into the gate of that city.
So it says a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed to unto an husband, and a man find her in the city and lie with her. Keep reading.
Then ye shall bring them both out into the gates of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die. The damsel, because she cried not being in the city, and the man, because he hath humbled his neighbor's wife.
Mm-hmm.
So thou shalt put away evil from among you.
Now, if she don't cry out, rape, that means she's enjoying it.
Totally.
That means she's enjoying it.
Yes, and she just committed
All right.
adultery.
So what the Lord is saying, no matter where you've been, if it's a city or if it's in the field, you don't cry out, you have to die too.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're gonna get into the meat of sex before fornication. Before marriage. Mm-hmm. Verse 25.
But if a man findeth and betroth the damsel in the field,
mm-hmm.
and the man force her
mm-hmm.
and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die. So
this is a woman that's engaged to somebody else, betrothed to some, and she gets raped. Now, if he's and the man that forced her and lie with her, and the man only that shall lie with her shall die, because most likely in the field ain't nobody gonna hear you. Mm-hmm. All right, you still gotta scream out though. Keep reading.
But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death.
Mm-hmm.
For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter.
Mm-hmm. Keep reading.
For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried.
She cried out.
And there was none to save her.
Right. So you have to cry either way, in the city or in the field. If you don't cry, according to what the Lord said, a woman must die. Mm-hmm. The man gonna die regardless, because he's taking something that don't belong to him.
Exactly.
All of that is fornication, because there's no marriage at all. This is why the woman got to cry out, because if the woman cries out, she's blameless. In the city, somebody gonna come and help her. In the field, ain't nobody gonna hear her. 28.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin,
mm-hmm.
which is not betrothed,
mm-hmm.
and lay hold on her and lie with her, and they be found,
mm-hmm.
then the man that lay with her should give unto the damsel's father,
mm-hmm.
50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife.
Yep, keep reading.
Because he hath humbled her, he may not put her away all his days.
Keep reading.
A man shall not take his father's wife, nor discover his father's servant.
I forgot about 30. But the thing is, if you take this woman and they be found together, the man is supposed to marry that woman. All right. The other spot that you had earlier.
Deuteronomy 20:7.
Yeah. Let's get into that now. He has to marry her. All right. Remember, they didn't have sex, but now he has to marry her. You said, what was it? Deuteronomy 20:7. Okay, go ahead and read it.
And what man is there that hath betrothed a wife and hath not taken her?
Mm-hmm.
Let him go and return unto his house, lest he die in the battle and another man take her.
Mm-hmm. But that's not the one. Wait a minute. We talked about it earlier.
Oh, Exodus 22:16.
Exodus. Yeah.
Exodus 22:16,
right.
y'all.
I was trying to go from that to this. Exodus 22 is right. Because I wanted to show that if you're raped, because there's some sisters who, we talked about it last week,
mm-hmm.
you shouldn't go to a brother's house,
mm-hmm.
because that could happen.
Mm-hmm. You have left your protection.
You left your protection. And if you mess around and you get raped, yes, you do have to call the authorities, but this is not your husband. All right? That's sex before marriage. Now, yeah, Exodus, what again?
22.
22, that's right. All right, go ahead and read it.
And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed,
mm-hmm.
and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
So it's saying if a man entice a maid, which is a virgin, that is not betrothed, and he lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. That means he has to go and be like, well, read the other one real quick.
17. If her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, mm-hmm. he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins.
So if you notice with these two, they had sex first.
Mm-hmm.
Then he went to the father to ask to marry her.
Yes.
So technically, this is fornication. Notice how the father, if the father says it's okay, then they get married. You ain't did nothing wrong, you know, because this is what the Lord is giving the option. But if the father says, no, you cannot marry my daughter, now they both commit fornication. That's what has happened. They're not married. So sex is not marriage. So we should not be having sex before marriage and then saying we're not married or living together. All right, because that's fornication. So for sisters, because this is what has happened in our society now. I don't need a man. I'm an independent woman. I don't need a man, but I do still need the D. And that's fornication. That's fornication, sisters, just to let you know. Same thing with the brothers. Brothers, I ain't trying to have no wife, but you out there tricking off.
Yeah.
And that's fornication.
Yes, it is.
And for the brothers, the Lord told us, hey, you messing with whores, that you messing the body up. You messing your temple up. You sinning against yourself. So we're going to get back to the sisters, though, because I'll deal with the brothers when I get the brother panel together. Okay. All right. But for the sisters, being an independent woman has taught you to, I don't need a man. I could do it all on my own. You go out and you make your own money, but you're not supposed to be spreading your legs.
That's right.
You're not supposed to be. I'm going to let y'all go ahead and finish with that if you got some more scripts.
Well, I'm going to land back on that.
You're going to land back? Okay.
And just say, and that's why I shared with you, sisters, as being a single sister, I don't get to the second or third or fourth dates with some of these brothers, some of these men, because it's sad. That is what they're looking for. You know, they want my virginity, and I am a virgin. And that's how we need to look at it. You are chaste virgins. You are special. You are worthy. Make them work for you. Okay? Make them pay that dowry to your father, whether he's alive or not. Then he needs to be courting you, dating you, and asking your family for marriage, your sons, or if you have a son, you know. He is supposed to be loving on you and caring for you to become his wife. Not just, as my brother said, giving up the D. No. D won't be happening over here. And you have to stay on that and be strong. Be strong in the Lord. Okay? Because that's, I told y'all last week, we got the power. Us sisters have the power. Learn your power, my sisters. Use them for good. Getting that D ain't for the good. Okay? And then what? You don't even know each other too well. Now here come the baby. Now you done messed up. Let him learn you while you're learning him. That D can come later, because then you guys, both of you, will really enjoy it. You won't regret it.
Right.
You know, who wants some regret sex? Not me. You know, let's be real. We did that when we were younger. Well, at least I did. Now I'm talking to my younger sisters. I'm telling you, stop if you're doing it. You shouldn't be doing it, especially a child of God, a sister, a daughter of Zion. Stop it right now. You can change as long as you're living. There's hope in you, my sisters. Let's change our ways.
And I gotta remember to don't put the mic too close.
No, you can put it closer.
Well, no, because I've been reading where comments have been that when I put it close, I sound muffled.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to. Hopefully they'll hear me. I want to speak to if they're any younger, or if some sisters may end up showing this to their daughters. I also want to add this. Sometimes parents, or we as mothers, when we're raising daughters, the first thing we want to say is, don't be out here having sex. You're gonna end up married, or you're gonna end up with a baby or with a disease. Mm-hmm. Okay, got that. That's understood. But, and I'm gonna speak from my experience. Had my mother, and I think had she known, or had she explained to me the spiritual aspect. Okay, if she explained to me the spiritual aspect of why it's important to stay a virgin, if she had explained to me why my body feels the way that it feels, because we don't discuss that with our children. We make it seem as though because they feel aroused, like something is wrong with them. No, the Lord set it up so that man and woman can come together to replenish and multiply this earth. Right. You can't replenish and multiply nothing if you feeling like, don't touch me. I don't, there's that arousal there. And so what I've tried to teach or mention to young ladies who are still virgins is, or ones who probably are not virgins anymore and they feel that they made a mistake. We make mistakes, yes, we get over it. But I think as mothers, right, as mothers, we need to explain this to our daughters so that they can understand, so this is why I feel this arousal. This is why I feel the way that I do. And to teach them and to have them to understand it. Just because you feel a certain arousal for somebody doesn't mean that you automatically have to sleep with them to burn, to stop that feeling that you have. We have to teach our children discipline. Okay? And a lot of people,
boys too. Even, exactly.
Right. Our daughters and our sons need to be taught discipline, and not to be so quick to feed into feeding their flesh, because that causes so many other issues down the line.
It does. And it is spiritual. It's totally spiritual. Most of us don't even recognize that it is, but it is, y'all. This is spiritual, because as our sister said, and as this book says, we are here to be fruitful and to multiply. The Lord knew what he was doing when he gave us these feelings. Okay, for sure. But it's for our mate. Not to just be out there doing something and giving it away. Go ahead, sis.
Let me, my brother Lee, you can read up there what it's saying. It says, some sisters, bros, don't believe sex before marriage is wrong. Why is there a misunderstanding? That's because of the ways of the world. That's why.
Totally.
It's totally the ways of the world. Because we've already read what the Lord said. Now, if you have sex before you get married, then the promise, the covenant is the marriage. But the book says, if you have sex, you were supposed, as a brother, you're supposed to get her to marry you.
Yes.
All right. Now, a lot of people in this world will just have sex. That's why I was talking earlier about the independent woman. I don't need no man, but I still need the D. The thing is, because the ways of the world has taught us this, that's the whole problem. What I also would like for you two to address when it comes to this are brothers. Now, this is me and the brothers, and then you can speak on the sisters. Brothers, we shouldn't be having sex and then promising them we're going to get married and then don't marry them. Because remember what the book said, the father might not be in her life. This is why I said last week, I feel for y'all more than anything as sisters, because you don't have a father or some, the protection. So if you do that, you're causing, brothers, another sister to sin.
Totally.
And the same thing with sisters. If you just want it from him and that's it, you don't want to marry him, and you seduce him, and then you're causing him to sin too. So the reason why people believe that sex you can't have sex before marriage, that's because it's the ways of the world, man.
Totally. And we know it's the ways of the world. We know what this word says, my sisters. We know. Now, again, let's come back to these feelings and these emotions and everything that's stirred up in them. We've been with this man now. I don't care how long you've been. It could be 2 days to 2 years. Have you discussed marriage?
We got to get into this part right here.
Have we discussed marriage? Is he trying to betroth you? Then that's between you, him, and the Lord. But if he hasn't, then that's between you and the Lord, and you should be saying no, my sisters. No, you're not worthy of me. You want to know why you're not worthy of me? Because you haven't asked me to marry you. We haven't discussed any of that. So why should I give you my body? Why should I give you me?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had that discussion. And I think any brother that a sister poses those questions to, you're going to make him think, oh, she deep, she real. Sure, yeah, I'm deep and I'm real. You want to take my sanctification, we have been separated. We are virgins. You trying to take my holiness from me. Why? Are we trying to become a partnership? Are we trying to become a marriage? If not, then no, you can't have this. So, sisters, be real with yourself. You are worthy. You are. This is you. This is you. This is your glory. This is your temple, your holiness. And if he cannot enter it in because he has not, spoken of marriage or betrothal, then he shouldn't be entering that. You have committed fornication. But again, there's hope. You can stop. You can change your ways right now. Okay.
Let me address this sister right here, Zale Toms or Sister Toms. Yeah. So as a marriage, a state license, some camps teach against them. All right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's camps that actually teach you shouldn't register with the state. Now let me put it to you like this.
The Lord said, keep the laws of the land.
If a brother and a sister get together, now I'm really gearing what I'm about to say towards the brothers. All right, you get together with a girl, and y'all say, "Listen, we getting married. I want to have sex with you. That you gonna be my wife." Mm-hmm. Y'all both got to understand something. The book says every idle word is going to be used against you. So if you sit up here and tell a sister, you my wife, and she says, okay, you're my husband, and y'all have sex, you guys are married. The witness is the Lord. All right? And so if you put her away, brothers or sisters, if you decide I'm leaving because we ain't legally married, you're sinning. All right? Now, when it comes to the state, sisters, is to protect you. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, it's to protect you because there are brothers that do this. So if you go to the state and get married, recognized through the state, yes, they have records on you and all that stuff. But if this brother decides to pull it on you, if this brother dies,
you got papers.
You got papers showing that I'm legally married to this man. When we talk about the laws of the land, this is one of the good things about the laws of the land because it's to protect you. If this brother dies and his family come along and be like, no, we ain't giving her nothing. Who did we say did that lately? I forgot. It was some rapper that did that. We were talking about that. It was some rapper where he was with someone, had kids, but then when he died,
Nancy Russell?
Yeah. The I forgot old girl name and stuff, but they straight ousted her. Mm-hmm. But if she was legally married, she has rights. And that's what I say when it comes to legal marriage in I gotta bring it up. Well, no, I ain't gonna bring that up. But that's when it comes to legalized marriages, and plus it's to lock that brother with you. Because again, there's camps, there's brothers out here that teach that, we're married, and then they leave you high and dry. Mm. They already in trouble with the Lord, but you want the state license to protect you, sisters. And you really do, so and your children. Those benefits. Yeah. Because that's what's because we all know marriage is and this is why you got to date and stop having sex and being like, yeah, we married. Because again, if this brother leaves, you high and dry, you can't run to the state at all. You can't even run to your church. Because again, like I said with the Pharisees, what if this brother's church or camp is like the Pharisees? Mm-hmm. You go to the camp, and I've seen this a couple of times online where the sister done went to the camp, told what the brother did, and they took up for the brother.
Mm.
And they were like, sister, you just out of here.
So she legally got put away.
Well, not legally.
Well, not
But
legally, but
they had sex, said
yeah.
they was married because the camp taught you don't have to do that. You don't have to go get legally married.
Mhm.
But then when dude got done with her, he would just be like, I divorce you, we're gone and all that. And she
put
can't
away.
run to the States, so
Right,
she ran to
ran
the
in.
camp. And the camp brothers took up for him. And she was just out. So yeah, when I'm all for state license marriages.
But now, can I add something to that?
Go ahead.
Here's the
You
the
do got to bring it
benefit.
up closer.
Oh,
Yeah.
here's another benefit of having that license. Let's say you've been with this man 5 years, and y'all have a family, and something happens to him where he has to go into the hospital, and they have to do a life-saving procedure on him. You don't have a say.
Not a thing.
They're gonna
His
have
children.
to go to his kin, his next, because you don't have a say in anything. Why? Because you do not have
Papers.
You do not have that marriage license.
Nope.
Another thing is this: if your husband, no, but even while he's alive, let's say your husband is employed with a job that has medical and dental, okay,
Benefit.
you can't
Get
you
him.
are not
Shut him down.
allowed
The law
on
doesn't
his
recognize it.
right. You're not allowed on his insurance to get medical help that you may need because you're not married.
And the
They
law
don't
does. The law of the
recognize
land does
you.
not recognize you.
Now, I've heard some brothers and some sisters say, well, you just draw up a contract. Yeah, you go right ahead. You draw up a contract. But I will tell you this, it would have to be ironclad. And you're going to spend some money. And on top of that, any contract can be contested
Totally.
in the court of law.
And attorneys know how to find those loopholes.
Exactly. So by having that marriage license, it's showing that you both are responsible for each other legally.
Yes.
Legally.
Yes.
Okay.
And entitled to personal.
Exactly. If something happens to
property,
him,
whatever.
And something happens to him, you're not married. What's gonna happen with the kids?
Exactly.
How is your property gonna be divided or taken care of? And if you do say, well, we'll get a contract, well, who's to say some sister that you was with before this one coming to the court and say, I want to contest this contract because I got X amount of kids by him.
Exactly.
What
about her contract? She might have one as well.
It opens up a whole can of worms. So get and do the marriage license.
Exactly. And the law, we are in this land. They recognize contracts, covenants. That's what the Lord calls them. Those are contracts. And it's there to protect both parties and your children. You know, and as I stated, there could be personal property. There could be property. So now you've been with this man, like I said, it could be 2 days to 2 years or 20 years. You are doing that common law marriage that the state doesn't recognize. God forbid he's expired now. Who you think gonna get their property? It's gonna be his children and his parents. And the parents may not even recognize your children of that marriage. So now they're gonna get everything. And you've been with him for 20 years and gave this man some kids, and you are not being recognized. Why would you even set yourself up for that anyway?
And let me say,
and if you were good
ahead,
enough to even lay together and have these children together and live in a house together, why you all just didn't go get the paper together?
That's what I was saying, Spirit. That's what I was just about to say. If you're going to do common law marriages, because I think some states after 7 years, the thing is, in order to prove common law, you have to have papers.
Again,
you got to have bills. You got to have all these bills that both of y'all was at the same address for 7 years.
Rental lease.
Now, guess what you're doing? You're still going back to the state.
Exactly.
So you might as well do it anyway, because you're still going back to the state to show them we've been together all this time. Some people want to say, we should have a state in our business. Man, that's brothers. That's wicked brothers to me. I'm sorry. I'm gonna just say it the way I see it. It's wicked brothers.
Say that.
That's what it comes down to. Because you still, even after common law marriage, you still got to go to the state, show them all this stuff, and you're still legally married.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing with that. And this is, this is just folks who's always talking about, I don't want the state in this. You go and get a driver's license. That's the state.
Right.
You get when those taxes are coming out of your paycheck, that's the government and that's the state.
Right.
So there are
Federal.
a lot of things besides a marriage license that the state is involved in.
Mm-hmm.
All it's doing with that marriage license is proving that you have on paper, I'm married to him.
Right.
And he's married
to each
he's
other.
married to me.
Mm-hmm.
And if he decides he want to go to another state and marry somebody else, guess what? He would be considered a bigamist because there's on
Number one.
paper
In
that
this
you
land.
are married. In
Right.
this land.
In this land.
That
Right.
you are married. So
And you still can be entitled to some of those benefits, even though if you do get married for the second time, okay? Because you've been there, you have children, you are entitled to those benefits still.
And now that it's there, for those that are into polygamy marriages, all right, we're not going to get deep into it. There are people, you can go to other countries and it's legal.
Mm-hmm.
Here in the States, it's not legal. Here's the thing. There's brothers that do have multiple wives. I ain't knocking them. But when it comes to the legal papers, that first wife or whatever wife is the
Whoever
only
has the
one
papers.
that's legally by the state, right? So sisters, and this is just for my sisters that's in multiple marriages
Mhm.
or down with it, understand the mindset of the Western world is take and keep all for myself. If that brother dies and that wife don't like you, you screwed. See, at least in the biblical days, everybody got something when that man died.
Mhm.
But here, if legally she's the only one and don't want to give you nothing, she got the right and you're
Totally.
screwed. So you got to think about that before you decide to get into some multiple marriages.
Yes.
Because legally, the state, the America is only going to recognize one of y'all. That's it.
And I also want to add this, dealing with the multiple marriages, like he just mentioned. I also want to add this, and this is for the sisters. It's not a commandment. It is not a commandment. It's a choice.
Right.
If a man wants to take on more than one wife, it's not a commandment.
Exactly.
Sisters.
So don't let them brothers tell you otherwise.
If you're dating or if you're courting and this question comes up, if you ask this question, hey, how do you feel about having multiple wives?
Mhm.
And if he says that's something that I would like to do, you have the opportunity to say
get out.
either yay or nay.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay. You have now. There's some
Because you know his
instances.
mindset where he's coming from.
Now there's some instances where I get some inboxes and I have some sisters talk to me about it, whereas they're blindsided by this after the fact. Okay.
Mhm.
And for sisters who may be dealing with that, all I can say is this. If you're blindsided with that after the fact, then that brother wasn't working or that brother wasn't coming from the
He wasn't
aspect
honorable.
of being honorable and being forthright.
Right.
Okay?
He was being deceitful from the
right,
get-go.
because at the end of the day, that has to be a choice that you decide whether or not you want to enter a situation like that.
Exactly. Again, sisters, you
Okay.
have that power. That's that power. And don't be afraid to bring it up. So, brother, you believe in multiple wives? Let's just be
that was
true.
a question I asked.
You know, let's put it on out there. Butterflies to the side, emotions to the side. Do you believe in multiple wives? Because if you do, I don't. So I need to exit what we have right now, so I won't be wasting any more of your time. You won't be wasting mine. Be truthful and real to yourself, sisters. Okay? You owe it to yourself. Just be truthful. And if you do believe in it, y'all need to have further discussion. Find out how you're going to work that out. And if you're going to be number one, get them papers. That's all I got to say.
And
Now,
also,
let me.
I'm not saying do it, but
Right.
those are discussions that you need to have.
Let me say this to my brothers and sisters in the chats. The book allows it. Period. All right. There were provisions for certain people to have one wife. Okay. I'm not going to get deep into it. I'll probably do that again by myself, not with y'all. But the thing is, there are people, because again, we're dealing with the Western world mindset.
Yeah.
We did not have that in these days with the book. All right. We didn't have that. But we're dealing on how we were raised here in Western society. Let me say this as well, too. Just because a brother wants multiple wives doesn't mean it's strictly for sex. I've even heard sisters say it helps with the home, it helps with the work, it helps with the children, and it's a family thing. And so it's not just the brothers now. There's sisters that's down for being in multiple marriages. But the only thing I'm saying is when you hear in America, that first wife gets everything. So you gotta be, you can't get upset if he dies, she keeps everything and you out on your own.
Exactly.
Because, and that's why I was saying, that's why it, as far as sisters are concerned, if you have to make that decision on whether or not if that's what you want to enter into before you even consider marriage. And also I want to add this for the sisters who, like Brother Isaac just mentioned and said that some sisters who welcome it, that's fine. The sisters who don't, that's fine. But what I don't like is when us as sisters, even though we may not agree on this topic, make one feel as though, oh, if you're not into that, then you're insecure and you're being selfish, and blah, blah, blah. Well, sister, if you into that, then you like having, y'all, what are all y'all sleeping? No. What I would prefer for sisters who are going to discuss this amongst themselves is if that's what she's into or if that's what she's okay with, that's a decision she makes.
Right.
A sister who isn't, that's a decision she makes. But we shouldn't be fighting amongst each other, making one feel less than another. Because it's a decision. It's not a commandment.
No, it's a personal decision.
It's
that each one of us are making.
Right. It's a decision. When me and my husband were dating, that's one of the first questions I asked. How do you feel about multiple marriages? We talked about it. Because if he would have said, well, that's something that I would like to do later on, blah, 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 pump the brakes. Nice meeting you. Exactly. You have a nice day. Because that's a choice that I have to make, whether or not if I am okay with that.
Exactly.
And I'm not.
No.
I'm not.
Most of us, let's just be real, most of us are not because we're conditioned not to. But for me, myself, I just want to do what the Lord say. He said one husband, one wife.
Now, when it comes to, Lee asked another question. Shouldn't a brother make provisions for all his wives? Why should only the first be recognized? Now, again, we're in America.
Exactly.
When it comes to the book, that's exactly what our forefathers did. Yeah. They made provisions for everybody. And something else, brothers, they took care of each individual. They may have had separate tents or these days separate houses, but the brother, the man was the one who provided everything for all those wives. Same thing goes on in Africa. There's some dude that's a billionaire, got 4 wives, they got 4 mansions. They all got, you have to take care of them. But the thing is, if you die over there, you could leave everything for them. But here in America, you can write a will, a contract, and all that stuff. Yes. But if that first wife that's married decides to fight it, she could possibly still win. Yes. So again, sisters, this is something for you to think about. Yes. Because I'm not jumping on my brothers. Don't get me wrong. But this is something for the sisters that do believe in multiple marriages. You have to protect yourself. Right. If something happens, is that woman really going to take care of you?
Right. And we're not condoning it. We just want you to That's your open mind. That's your personal decision. Can you live with that decision?
And then too, there's scripture that says that if a man takes on more than one wife, that if he's not able to, that he's not allowed to take away from what his first wife was getting.
Right.
So that means that, and it also says that if he can't continue to maintain that it's okay for her to walk away. Now I need to, and Isaac, you're more good with this, but if you could find that for me.
Oh, I forgot where
but
it
that's
is.
one of the scriptures.
See, that's why I didn't want to get deep into this.
Right.
I just want the war and the sisters, because that's something that I need to do with brothers.
Right.
To be honest with you, I'm just from what we're doing right now. We're just letting the sisters know, right, if you get into that, what to expect.
Right.
All right.
Yep. So I'm
gonna
leave that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that, because when I get this brothers panel together, right, then we'll deal with that, right, for the brothers. But
just just to reiterate again to the sisters, you have a choice. Mm-hmm. This is some questions that you need to ask. Your brother Benaniah.
Yeah, he put it in there anyway.
Thank you, brother Benaniah. but I just
let me put it on the screen.
Right,
hold on.
I just want sisters to know that it's a choice. This is not something that you have to do if you feel that that's not, that if you feel that you don't want to be in a situation where there are where other wives may come in. So just to let you know that that you have a choice. Mm-hmm. Before but yeah.
Okay. He said Exodus 21:10.
Mm-hmm. Yep, but was it something else because we covered fornication?
Did you want to read it? So that
I'll read it real quick. Even though we're still talking to the sisters, this is the sisters show. All right, because I don't want y'all to read it and they be like, see, they still there trying to teach brothers. So I'm gonna read it. And if he take him another wife, you know what? Let's roll back a little bit. Hold on, let me make sure. No, we're gonna just read it from there and then move on. And if he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, her duty of marriage, it shall not diminish. And if he do not these three unto her, then shall she go out free without money. That's it.
That's it.
So if you decide you want you another wife, first of all, you can't legally marry her in the United States. But if you're outside the United States watching, because again, this isn't just the United States program. If you do not take care of her, she can leave. Plain and simple. So that's all we're gonna do. But like I said, getting in deeper with this, I got a brothers panel. I'm trying to put together to deal with this too, because again, it's too much sex is marriage, and then you got brothers that will teach, and some camps that will teach sex is marriage, and then they got the multiple wives, and then when the brother gets upset. I mean, Christ said that too. The reason why Moses gave y'all the law of divorcement, because it was the hardening of y'all heart.
Exactly. Right.
So, it goes either way. Again, I'm not jumping on multiple marriage people, right, and I'm not jumping on single marriage people. So it's just something we're doing for sisters to think about if they are for multiple marriages. Exactly. To understand what you're really getting into here in the United States. That's all we're saying.
Exactly. Right. And just to come back, just to let you know, sisters, we can't hit everything on today. We don't want no real time. I think we're probably going up to 11:30. Yeah. But again, just know that there are more. We're going to have more of this forum with the sisters every other month. Yeah. As they wanted us to come on every month, we're talking about that, because we do have lives too.
Yeah.
So, and we have to.
And I understand you get up at 4:30 every morning, yes, and then when the Sabbath come, you ain't trying to get up that early. So I understand that.
And I really can't right now. Looking at my schedule, I can't see me committing every month, every other year. But again, we're discussing that. We may surprise you guys. But in the meantime, if you do have questions, again, reach out to Trisha and I. And I'm sure there may be other elder sisters and other groups that you may be in that you can probably pose questions to, and get your answers. And then I want to say this, sisters, when I first started reading this word and getting this truth and living this word, I was going to the elder brothers, brother Boy, I'll be, just posing questions, just put it out there, get with a brother, and I'm going to say elder, that you trust, who you can depend on, that you can ask questions. And there are question and answers night too at some of the classes, So find out when those question and answer nights are, and don't be afraid to pose your questions. Okay. That's how you're going to learn.
Right. And also understand, everyone's not going to answer it the same way.
Yeah.
Some people don't believe in, let's just use the marriage thing again. Mm-hmm. Some people believe that multiple marriages is against God and the law. Some people don't. So wherever class you go to, whatever that class says is what that class is saying. Mm-hmm. Just want people to understand that. Because the book is saying one thing, but sometimes people say what they want to say. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm not that type of person, and that's what gets me in trouble all the time.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm gonna say what the book says. But you can't go wrong with the word, because any man, whether it's the elder, sister, brother, whoever, come to you, you got script to back that up.
Right.
Read your scripture. Read it and say, well, you know what, brother, I understand, I respect what you're saying, but this is what the words say, and this is what I'm living my life off of. Right. Hey, we can't put you in the lake of fire. Okay. And we can't put you in heaven. That's between you and the Most High God. All of us individually. Mm-hmm.
And I just, before we end, I just want to say this to, and this is from, this is for my sisters, but I want to say this. We as women, a lot of times we come with our own past or whatever, and we may feel a little bit shameful about certain situations that we're in, or may feel a little shameful about asking certain questions and things of that nature. But I just want to put out there and say, all of us have had a past. All of us have made mistakes, okay? Mm-hmm. And, some of us have repented, and some of us probably don't know how to repent, but don't feel as though you don't have a voice to come and ask questions and get understanding and things of that nature. That's one of the things that this show is about. We're talking to sisters about things that go on amongst us, and things that happen, our daily lives, what we're
experiencing.
Right. And later on, down the road, we may get into dealing with our children and things of that nature. But I don't want any sister out there to feel that a forum like this isn't for them because of their past.
Right. No judgment here.
Right.
No judgment.
As I stated, we're moving forward. Start anew today. Yep. Renew yourself today. Everyone that's listening to me, you may even hear this tomorrow, 3 days from now, 3 months from now, 3 years from now. When you hear this, again, as long as you have breath, there's hope. Renew now. No judgment here. None whatsoever.
Right. Let me also say this. Most of the time, what I feel our community has not done is confess our sins to one another. And what happens is that, because I try to tell people who have children, when we get older, we end up finding out about our parents' dark secrets.
Ooh, yes.
And it's like, what? What? And so it's like, as a parent, I tell my kids the stuff that I've done,
so that they can learn from it.
Right. I'd be like, look, I've done this, I've done that. You don't want to go here, trust me. Mm-hmm. But some parents be like, they don't need to know that. And then they see their kids doing the same thing, but all the kids ever heard was, don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that.
And you're not teaching them anything.
Right.
If
but they're going, why don't you want me to do that? Right. So that's the same thing that we're doing here.
Exactly. And don't be a hypocrite.
Right. All of us have gone through some things that we should have not gone through.
Anyway, and you can even share that. You can start about, you know what? I was young. I didn't know any better, but I did that and I made that mistake. And I don't want you to make that same mistake. That's why I'm sharing with you. You know, I share with my son when I found out, I just want to say this, that he was smoking reefer, marijuana, Mary J, whatever you want to call it. And I'm like, dude, I didn't get on him because he did it. I just want to let him know what's the benefit of doing it. Why are you smoking it? Because I'm gonna share with you, I did it when I was 16. I thought I was grown out there hanging with my big cousins, 21, 22, 23. But the thing is, long as I kept my mouth closed, I can hang out with them. So you know, they let me hit a joint. You know, and it didn't go right with me.
Right.
You know, and that was a bad experience for me. You know, I was hell, you know what I'm saying? I didn't like that, the way that I was feeling. You know, I was uncontrollable. And I share with my son, you know, if you're gonna do it in moderation, but here's the consequences. You working at a company that can ask for a drop in a heartbeat. Now what? You done set yourself up for it, you know. So don't do it right now until you're stable, you know, and being where you want to be. You know, things are totally different for these generations, these children now these days. And that's why, sisters, it is our business to communicate with our children. Don't be afraid. Share with them your experiences, everything, whether it's sex, drugs, whatever, you know, whatever that happened to you, share with them. Don't be afraid. And then you're going to see your relationship with your children is going to get better because now they can come to you and talk. You know what I'm saying? The lines of communication is open. And that's even with, you know, about me and, you know, and guide them. That's what we're here for. You know,
now everybody decided to start trying to ask questions at the end of this thing now. So what I'm doing,
I'm looking at these questions and I'm like, oh my goodness.
Where did they come from? You know, this is stuff that we need at the beginning. So what I did is I was highlighting them. So when you two look back, it'll be there, and then you can try to answer for next time. But go on, finish. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm finished. You know, I'm just saying, sisters, just know who you are and what you are. You're a child of God. You're a daughter of Zion. You're trying to become God's. You're raising God's. You know, let's just keep that in mind, right?
We're raising the Lord's children.
Yes, you are. They're not us. He only gave them to us for a little bit. They're always watching you. Be your best self. Be who you're supposed to be. You know, love you as well. Be you. That's all I have to say. I love you. I want y'all to know that. Man, we have so much power. I love y'all. I love my sisters.
Shout it from the mountaintops.
Yes. So know that I love you. I got you. I mean that.
Right. And as a brother, I love y'all too, sisters. This is why the Lord put this on me to put this together, because it's something that, and again, I feel is lacking. We need some sisters to talk to sisters. Yeah. Because sometimes sisters, they hear what we say at question and answer and all of that from brothers. But if they see, right, but if they see another woman, oh, you done went through that? Oh, you done went through that? Like somebody on here asked, what if the marriage is unequally yoked? Well, I have a lesson. It's a 2-part lesson you could check called Unequally Yoked, My Mistake You Don't Want to Make. And it's about my marriage, but it's about, are you really willing to go through that stuff? Yeah. All right, because you got to understand there's his seat, there's your seat, and that's going to clash when it comes to the word of God. I don't care how strong you are, my sister. All right, it's still going to clash. But the thing is, it's something you have to think about before you go in there, and that's the whole purpose of what I do when it comes to what we all have gone through in life, period. Yeah. Because with this whole great awakening, we all still have to change as a bride for our husband.
Yes, we do.
We have to. That includes the sisters. So I thank God for giving me this platform to actually do this.
And thank you for having us. And again, coming up in the future, we're going to touch on some of everything. So get ready. We're going to discuss feminism. especially among sisters,
Yeah.
Israelites.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna talk on prostitution, stripping. We're gonna get on all of that gossip.
I ain't even think about that. Go ahead now.
You know,
Abusive
drunkenness.
relationship.
Yes. The sexual revolution.
Revolution. It started
You
in the
know,
60s.
that started in
Right.
the 60s. We're gonna hit on some of everything. So just get ready. If you have some questions that you want to pose to us, you can, so we can discuss it. Now, understand and don't get in your feelings. We may not hit everything, okay, but we will touch on it. Okay, even some things that you didn't even think about. You know, everything, even our bodies. You know, our cycles. We're gonna hit on all of that.
Now, I gotta leave a room for that one. I'm gonna show y'all how to
all of that, even with sending your sons to the store, go shopping for you. We're gonna touch on all that.
Yeah,
so y'all get ready.
I know when
So
I was
we
a
love
shorty, I was
y'all.
like, Mom, you really want me to buy this? Come
Yeah,
on,
better believe
man.
it. My son go buy all of that. Okay, you got to prepare him. He's becoming a man.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
now that I
take care
got
of
a
his
daughter, I walk
household.
straight
Take
in. I'll
care
be
of
like,
his
yeah, I
wife.
need this.
Don't be afraid. You know,
Yeah.
and I test even guys, sisters. Bruh, can you pick up some tampons for me? I just to see what he say. If he's squeamish, I don't want him.
Well, wait a minute. You got to give another chance now.
He might get a chance.
You give him another chance now. He might just be shocked because you asked him.
There's some other things too that I have already, you know.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
You know, so. That said, love you guys. Peace in Jesus' name. Enjoy the Sabbath.
Love y'all.
All right.
Enjoy this beautiful Sabbath.
Okay. I thank y'all for watching and tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I guess we could say June, because it's almost May now. You want to say June? So we'll try to come.
June it is.
We'll get another show in June. I will definitely announce it when it's going to happen. And again, this lesson is for the sisters. All right.
Sisters, listen to this.
Right. So thank y'all for watching. All glory to the Father in the mighty name of Jesus. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Time to wake up. Time to wake up.
Wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Up you wake, up you wake, up you wake, up you wake.
Time to wake up. Time to wake up.